Hey guys, it's Will. So the quantum market is moving pretty fast today. We see Rigetti stock really making some moves up into this new level of around $14.88. You see Ion Q pushing up to 39, and you got QBTS making a run today as well, up to 15. Now, these companies, a lot of them have sold down in the last few weeks, and we see them at a support level. We were looking at IO and Q. This was one support level here that they are at $36. The other quantum company, Rigetti, you could see they were at a support level as well at around 1375. They ended up bouncing. And then again, QBTS. QBTS was selling down pretty aggressively, tried to find support, still at a resistance there at around 1550. So the market of quantum computing is growing and is most likely expected to hit the hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars in the coming future, according to IBM and Amazon and Microsoft. But when it comes down to the current movements of these companies and what we're seeing, a couple things to note about their current movements. When you look at Rigetti, for example, a lot of really good tech innovations. They've seen some new developments in their quantum computers. And that's where we start to see the QPU, the quantum processing unit, that is a superconducting quantum integrated circuit powering the quantum computer, be more of a discussion. Now, QPUs are what a lot of investors are focusing on as what could be the next wave of computer innovation, which we've seen CPUs, we saw GPUs, and the evolution here essentially is that QPUs can supercharge the effectiveness of GPUs and lower the computing power and increase the amount of results and less energy used to get those results. So they've come out with some single qubit gates fidelity, meaning that their individual qubits are becoming more efficient, with their median fidelity now increasing up to 98.6% for 82 qubits on 2 qubit gates. Now, they work with NASA, they got partnerships with AWS and Microsoft, and that's kind of the story with most of the quantum companies like IonQ, for example. They're working in battery tech, in carbon sequestration. They work with NASA. They're also partnered there with Airbus, Air Force, Microsoft, again, Amazon, so some similar partnerships. And their partners include NVIDIA. A lot of the investments from big tech are from Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and NVIDIA. And then the other one that's pretty heavily invested into quantum is going to be Lockheed Martin. We've seen them kind of touching a lot of these quantum companies as of recently. Now, when it comes to their development, they're working on quantum through the cloud. And this is just kind of a general market overview, but this is becoming widely available from not just Rigetti, but IonQ as well as D-Wave. You can see that there. So one of the things that they're looking for right now is about 2.7 billion in funding for the market, and that they're awaiting some cash stimulus from the Quantum Initiative Reauthorization Act. That's definitely been in the conversation, and we haven't seen it. We haven't seen the revenue hit the balance sheet. And so a lot of these companies, like we could look at IonQ, a lot of great innovations, but still negative on the net income, quarterly coming in negative, significantly negative, with about 20 million in revenue. All the companies are seeing some increases in their revenue year over year. See that with Rigetti, and you see that with D-Wave. You see that with IonQ, as we just pointed out, that overall, like annually, for the most part, we've seen some increases. And they just came in with some positive revenue there, or positive net income as a result of some investments, Rigetti. So why these quantum companies are correcting and why we could see more extended corrections, simply put, guys, the valuations are up there in that, for example, 11 billion. You have Rigetti up there at about, 4.8 billion, and D-Wave kind of the same deal. So it's just a very straight up, while there's quantum breakthroughs, you see some articles around their compute and increasing their technology, it's still not turning revenue. Now, of course, if they are the go-to QPU to, let's say, optimize data centers, and now QPUs are becoming a big conversation in tandem with GPUs, guess what? Now these companies are, $100 billion companies to $200 billion or more as a result of the development of quantum computing. So there's very much a buying what could be. I mean, we've seen that pretty common with the quantum technology. I mean, a lot of it is like if you wanted to, let's say, calculate a chemical reaction, you could see how the chemicals, for example, react on a high level and what happens when you mix baking soda with vinegar or something, right? But when it comes to the ionic level, down to the the atoms, or the extreme, like electrons, those computations extremely high frequency that only quantum computers are able to calculate. And that's where you see them jumping in for example, Amgen is a company that's in pharmaceuticals. They're working to bind peptide proteins. There's billions of different cures that could be for, let's say, cancer. In order to find them, you have to go through billions of different data and see how they all match together. And quantum computers are the next best solution for that development. So there's like that. There's the climate problems or calculations. There could be batteries, increasing batteries. There's a lot of technology that is just all around us that's getting optimized by quantum. So the only issue right now is the valuations. Now we see that there's obviously very consistent trends though too in some of these companies on the near term. And we love to trade them. We have positions in them long term in every company I've mentioned. But in the short term, it does pose a lot of opportunities, especially when we see some of the runs we've gotten recently. So there's a support level for a lot of these companies that they've bounced on. You can see this consolidation since May for IonQ. They're bouncing at $36 and trying to make a run back up into 48. That's the technical perspective, and there's pretty good morale around the quantum market. So if we see a move like that, with keeping in mind, this is when you want to have a plan on the short term, execute a stop loss and a trading plan for take profit. But it's a 21% potential upside there for IonQ if it continues this consolidation from left to right, that pattern there. And then also you got RGTI. So RGTI, same deal. So Rigetti kind of finding a support there, even an uptrend support we were watching, kind of consolidating, but holding some of its uptrend above that 200-day moving average. They're trying to make a recovery or make continued bull runs up into that 30% range. But again, with the Fed meeting going really well today and most stocks going up, we had a really profitable day. Our portfolio is up about 4% off of some trades we made. And we also traded TSLL this morning, which was a 6% trade we made at market open. If you want to learn how to invest and trade some of these quantum stocks, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Definitely look at the comments below because there's some great investors here that subscribe to the channel. But if you want to learn technical fundamental analysis, then it's the second link below for Stockmates. And that's where we go live Monday through Friday. And we'll be there Monday at market open. So quantum is moving fast. What do you guys think about the valuations? Do you think they were too high? I think that from a valuation standpoint, we are. From a potential standpoint, we're just getting started. And we could see quantum companies be much greater in value in the long term. Just in that near term, when you look at some of the financials compared to their market caps, they don't seem very favorable at all. And so that's where risk becomes a big factor in the short term. And that's when just because it's high right now doesn't mean that it couldn't continue up. And that's where the long-term positions, you have to be less greedy, less picky, more risk tolerant, and be ready for pullbacks if you're in the long term. I personally have, I've rode some, we started covering these back in October, around $1 a share for Rigetti. We saw it go up to, $20 a share, $25 a share, or something like that, and sell all the way down to $5 a share. and then recover. And now we're back up to $15 a share. I mean, it's taken a tremendous tolerance. Personally, for me, it's a hold a lot of these companies in my Charles Schwab account, like my long-term investing. So I get it. It could be a little stressful, but just know as long as you have a plan for the short term and you are okay with the risk tolerance of the long term and looking at it, 3-5 years from now, excuse me for the blurry face, then you guys will find that you will feel more comfortable. And every time you're looking at your moves in the market, you can confidently execute those trades or confidently add to those long-term positions when you have a plan. So that's going to do it for this one. Again, if you want to join us in our live session tomorrow, it's the second link below. Not tomorrow, but on Monday, excuse me. And on top of that, if I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing. I'm going to be flying or traveling today to LA today, so across California. So maybe we have some more uploads. Probably not. We'll see how it goes. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.